Late on the scroll, but it's all good. All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. This day we pick us up in John chapter 5 and verse 39. So search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. They was testified me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. But another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? So praise be to Yahudah. Let's get this Psalm 78. They done open the bridge up for you, man. They had to close the bridge. No, they closed the bridge of Lions in St. Augustine. Oh, he worshiping the mother goddess. Yeah, he like a little mother goddess cuckoo.
Like got a little nice temple, a little pendant on the chest.
Yeah, he probably do. I ain't look at it that close. Just gave it a swift glance. He probably do though. He definitely looked like he, based off the outfit, that I definitely put money on that. Psalm 78 and 67. Moreover, he refused the tabernacle of Joseph and chose not the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Yahudah, the Mount Zion, which he loved. He built a sanctuary like the earth. Shalom, man, which he have established forever. He chose David, also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds. From following the ewes, great with young, he brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Yasharal his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. So we knocked out Job 14 last night. Let's come over here to Judges chapter 8. Matter of fact, now, let me go to Genesis chapter 4 first for the baseline of why we even doing what we're doing. And then we'll swing right over there into Genesis chapter 5. Genesis 4 and 25. Oh, baby ain't get you right there. She said, F the world. My mama dead.
She said, sister died, bro. Shit, I don't know.
Hey.
Going through it, boy.
Hey, I mean, at the end of the day, I understand.
I do too.
Nigga say, Mom Dukes did my sister. She like, God, why me? He gonna like keep on, nigga. You gonna neck. Nah, you know that death hit hard depending on how much you care about him, especially for a woman. Ain't her shoe. I told you the other day, boy, ain't no such thing as unexpected shoe. Niggas gotta go. You know, death don't never hurt the nigga who dead, just a nigga left behind. That's what they say about stupid people, ain't it? Say don't never hurt them, just hurt the people they deal with. Hey, that's rough, that's tough right there.
Yeah, dog on jet got self-falling.
Hey! Yeah, she need full-time care. Real talk. She need full-time care. Shoot, just say it, and she was able to do all that with a child with cerebral palsy. She a heck of a woman.
She's a strong woman.
Oh yeah,
Definitely. But Cassidy.
I know that maybe that could be else. I ain't never seen a strong woman. Nigga was not by that time was hilarious. You say strong. I ain't never seen one. Genesis 4 and 25. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son and called his name Seth. For Elohim have appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. Shalom, what's his name? And to Seth, to him also were there born a son and called his name Enos. Then began man to call upon the name of Yahudah. Genesis chapter 5 and verse 1. Tuck your lip in before I tuck it in for you, boy. Little Mike, what's up, boy? You good? You a genius? Your shirt say you a genius. So are you a genius? All right, then. That's a better attitude to take then, son. Genesis 5:1. This is the book of the generations of Adam. And the day that Elohim created man in the likeness of Elohim made he him. Male and female created he them and baruched them and called their name Adam. Adam in the day when they were created. Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness after his image and called his name Seth. That's right. We already had that question. So I want y'all to think upon Yalad, Yad, Lamad, and Dalet for beget. Yad, Lamad, and Dalet. Joe, I'm going to take your snacks, Joe. Joe. You done ate them all. Yad, Lamad, and Dalet. Yalad. To bring forth. Just for beget. Yalad. Yad, Lamad, and Dalet. Very well. Sean said the work of the shepherd sacrifice. Anybody else?
I said the work of the shepherd to bring forth the son.
The work of the shepherd is going to bring forth a son. Are you a son?
I said the son was disciplined by sacrifice.
The son disciplined by sacrifice. Anybody else? I'll take Sean's for now just because my mind went to a particular passage off the top. 1 John 5:1. Let's look at what the teach the work of sacrifice is what Saran got. I'm just going to discuss the work of the shepherd sacrifice because, matter of fact, back that up to chapter 3 real quick, like 3 and 1, and then I'll come to chapter 5 and 1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us that we should be called the sons of Elohim. The reason why that stood out because it was the work of the shepherd sacrifice what allows you to be called a son of Elohim, which was discussed in the Job 14. Now, there's a couple things that stood out in that Job 14. One, he was like the sin of water. And then the other one was the relief from death. He said, you know, that until my appointed change, until my change comes, or relief from death, which also takes us back to that Psalm 68 when he talking about that he can deliver you from the issues of death, issues in that particular manner translating to salvation. So again, you're looking at the aspect, of course, we mentioned this last night, in regards to what did Mashiach say that the Spirit would do? It would bear witness of him. What is it bearing witness to? His work, which is to relieve you from death. At the end of the day, that's what Elohim objective is to remove you from death and to fashion you and to conform you into the image of his son. Let's continue. Hey, we have no time for your folly. He said, beloved, now we are the sons of Elohim, and it do not yet appear what we shall be. See, that goes back to my change come. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Every man that have this hope in him purify himself, even as he is pure. See, that goes back to who can bring the clean out of the unclean. Because if you have that level of expectation in you, then that faith, or you are clean from the word which I have spoken unto you, is now made manifest. See, look at the thing that he said that you won't know what that goes back to the point where I told you why you must know that he is and was is to come, and to know the difference of the adversary from him. See, people think that thing a joke. You know what I'm talking about? But you would have to be able to know the difference. You have to have a discriminatory ear. Come on over here. Come here, let me holler at you real quick. Let me holler at you real quick. Hey. Ain't nothing wrong with you because you're phony. Now, this is what we can do. Look at me, Joe. This is what we can do. Because you just tried to hit your father, and now I'm offended. So we can pass you around this room and let everybody beat you and then send you outside. or you can sit down and be quiet and listen like you're supposed to. Which one would you like to do? Oh, you like to sit down. You chose wisely. Go sit down. First John. Now, of course, in that First John 3, he goes to enumerate several things. Number one, he said, don't let nobody tell you that you're not righteous, because you're righteous even as Mashiach is righteous. Then he begins to enumerate the differences between the sons of Elohim and the son of the slanderer. He say the sons of Elohim obey, the sons of the devil do not. And he's saying this is how you know the difference. You know what I'm talking about? See, a lot of people say a lot of things, but the text is pretty much crystal clear on this. And that goes back to what's in Numbers chapter 16, when Moses said that Yahudah will show who is Kadash and who is not. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to walk around here with no great mystery to know who belongs to whom. The only reason why people do that is because you want to think emotionally. And when I say emotionally, not because you're leading with emotions, but because you have an emotional attachment to an individual. You should never be emotionally attached to no one on the face of this earth, because emotional attachments is what is debilitating to the human mind. That is what destroys the minds of individuals, male, female, old, young, alike. That's where the destruction come in at. See, grief is fine. You know what I'm talking about? But when you grieving for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, that means you was emotionally, and I ain't talking about if somebody died neither. You know what I'm talking about? Some people be grieving for years just because people fall out. I ain't even talking about, oh, you was with somebody, you ain't with them no more. Niggas be mentally grieving about falling out with family members, falling out with friends. That's an emotional attachment. You know what I'm saying? And that junk ain't good. I already done told you my perspective on that. That's idolatry. That means you done took somebody and you done put them on a pedestal. You done put them above what the text say you should put somebody at. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with being sad. I wouldn't care who died. Well, if you mourning a nigga, they been dead for a year, something wrong with you. And you say you love Yahudah, there's something wrong with you. Because remember, we went through this before. What's the period of time that people mourn? 30 days. 30 days is sufficient to get all that junk up out your chest. You talking about 30 days of consistent mourning? And I'm talking about a servant of Yahudah, not regular people. Because see, I'm putting you this way. Somebody who in the word who passed away, your mourning period probably would be even shorter if you believe that they have hope of everlasting life, as you say they're supposed to have. Because you know that as long as you endure, what's going to happen? You're going to see him again. Remember, what did Martha say? I see my brother again. That didn't mean they wasn't sad. He just died. They didn't mean they were sad. But at the same token, Martha knew what time it was. She said, I'm going to see my brother again. That means she was confident that he was righteous and that she was righteous, that she was going to endure and hold on to the word the same way her brother did. So why would she be walking around? How you going to sit here and walk around here and say that's a servant of Yahudah, you a servant of Yahudah, and you sad like you know this nigga going to hell, you ain't never going to see him again? That doesn't make sense. I'm talking about for spiritually grounded people, allegedly. I would expect that from somebody in the world now. If you ain't got no word and somebody close to you die, you think that'll hit you different, shouldn't it? It should hit you. I could get that. Because you don't have the same level of hope and foundation. Remember, he said, you know what I'm saying? We ain't as others who don't have no hope. We're not supposed to be, I'm just mentioning that we're not supposed to be thinking this way. See, it's at the forefront of my mind because he's mentioning this lady, mama and sister just passed. Now, she ain't in no word. That's going to take a hard mental toll. You know what I'm talking about? But death only takes a mental toll because of how we are taught to view it. You want to look at it, I know he's looking down on me, this, that, then, the third. You're trying to convince yourself of any type of connection to someone who is no longer on this physical plane. When you know that if they passed in Mashiach, you already had a connection with them before they left this physical plane. Because the connection would be through Yahudah. So therefore, if you and them are connected to Yahudah, then there is that the same level of sadness to someone who is not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you that there because, hey, man, you're supposed to be. Like, I ain't talking to nigga, oh, somebody died. Like, that's insane. You know what I'm talking about? But no, you shouldn't be around here talking about when she died, bro. 19, it's 2022. Nigga, what you got going on, bro? What you got going? It's been 3 years. You only get one mama. Nigga, you know that your whole life. What, you didn't think she was going to die one day, nigga? But see, you know where that comes from? Like I mentioned last night, you don't think that people are going to die until they die. Now you upset. That's how niggas be mad at you. Because you didn't believe somebody was going to die. Who told you your grandma was going to live to be? I told you that. You know what I'm saying? Then this the part y'all don't be looking at. Sometimes them people be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You want them here for your own selfish motivation. Sometimes them people be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Them people be in pain. They be in some suffering. And you just want them to stay laying in the hospital bed in excruciating pain so you can bring your funky behind up there and taking pictures to post it on the internet. I came to see grandma today. Grandma ready to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? You don't care nothing about grandma pain, so you can feel good about going up there to see her. Let that woman go ahead and slide. See, I already knew that. My daddy, he was ready to go. They told us, boy, he had 3 to 4 months to live, boy. That man was dead in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Once that doggone hard thing start working, they say he got about 3, 4 months. That man was going in 2 weeks. Boy, that man was ready to go. He was tired. He was tired of dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? He was tired of dealing with it. Who am I to tell him, no, just hold on for a little bit longer? Shoot, go on, take your rest. I sucks for you on the back end, but I understand. Word. Straight up. Especially when they get older, bro, that junk hit them hard, man. They in pain all day, every day. They be like, yeah, y'all niggas cool and all. This junk hurt, though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't dealing with it 24 hours a day, waking up out your sleep in excruciating pain, wondering if the day is the day. You know what I'm saying? See, we don't think about stuff like that. Then Sean said, then you got to think, that nigga Lil Duval said that this here before. Imagine you being old and everybody you know dead, and you just want a nigga to keep on going. They spouse dead, all their friends dead, all their classmates dead, co-workers dead. They ain't got nobody but you. Nigga, they don't want to talk to you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Nigga wiping your boot every day. Nigga got to bathe you. And you like, I'm going to go see Granny at the old folks' home. Man, nigga, like, I hate you niggas. These people be beating on me in here. Y'all don't say nothing. Straight up. They be beating on them old people in the old folks' home. Boy, you better watch them. Straight up and down. Playing with their vaginas and penises. What they do to them old people dirty. You gotta pay attention. Yeah, you better. Well, if your people in the home, shoot, you better pay attention. Look at their bodies. Look them in the eyes. Sometimes they be trying to tell you they beating me, baby. Y'all don't be paying attention. You know what I'm talking about? Them people be coming there hitting them people in the head with doggone pillars and whatnot, punching on them old people, pushing them down. They definitely locked the lady up around here talking about she was having sex with the doggone retarded churn. They asked her why she was doing it. She said, I don't know. She just going in the doggone rooms, the flower and the young retarded churn. Yeah. On camera.
Hey, what you doing?
What you doing? I don't know. I just did it. That's what I was talking about. Her going in there playing with them boy wee man. On camera. What's wrong with you? And your response is, why you did it? I don't know. So you don't know what made you go in a room and say, here's a retarded boy's penis. Let me go play with it. And you supposed to like women. Lord have mercy. That's the world we live in, Joe. 1 John 5, man. It ain't right before God, boy. I don't believe in them home, man. I got that from Fat Boy Mama, man. She took care of her brother till he died at the house. She's going in there. That's the first person beside and my homeboy Snoop grandma, because she took care of her mama. She had Alzheimer's. Them were the first 2 people that's imparted on me. You don't put your people in no home. If you can do it, you do it. You know what I'm talking about? And they showed and both of them were working. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about, but then the first 2 people I was like around personally, seen them day in and day out. You know what I'm saying? They were like, nah, baby, that's not what you do. You don't send your people in no home. You know what I'm saying? If you can do it, you do it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, shoot, I feel it. Because Alzheimer's ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? And Willie was pretty much almost bedridden, but they took care of him. Both of them did. You know what I'm saying? I'd have seen Miss Marie work a whole doggone 8, 12-hour shift, boy, go home and tend to Willie. Straight up and down. And Willie was pretty much bedridden for the most part. See, that's love right there. See, some people say they nurture. See, most people not. Most women ain't gonna do that. They gonna be like, bump my brother, mama, auntie, grandma. That nigga going in the home. Nigga barely want to wipe their own and booty hole. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I feel like this is my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Some women might not have the maternal DNA, and some women do. You know what I'm saying? Some women, they could be the most selfish, rotten, no good women in the world. Had that baby, that maternal DNA come out. And some women, it don't never come out. You know what I'm saying? I done been around too many people to observe, to see like, man, you done had that many children, you still don't love your children? You know what I'm saying? You don't care about them? No, that's what a thought process came up where I can say, I'm not going to say you don't love your children, but I can see that you didn't want to be a mother. You know what I'm saying? I seen several of them around my way. Told you, man, that chick left her child in the house to go to the club. That baby was 3.
You didn't delight.
And on top of that, I believe that hoe was pregnant, if my memory serves me correctly. Funky hoe. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't never liked that hoe. Dang, Kira said her grandma was taking care of her mentally ill sister for years. Finally put her in a home, and she died 7 days later. Put them in the home, people killed them, people, man. Truck them dogs on people with your people, man. People don't give a damn about your people. 1 John 5:1. Whosoever believe that Yahushua is the Mashiach is born of Elohim. Everyone that love him, that begat him, love him also is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the sons of Elohim when we love Elohim and keep his commandments. For this is the love of Elohim, that we keep his commandments. His commandments are not grievous. For whatsoever is born of Elohim overcome the world. And this is the victory that overcome the world, even our faith. Who is he that overcome the world? But he that believe that Yahushua is the son of Elohim. Now, why is this important? Because who is Seth? Seth is the son of Elohim. How can we look at it and see that Adam is Elohim, or put in the place of Elohim? What is some of the things that Yahudah gave to Adam? And you're going to have to, what'd you say? He gave him dominion. What did he give him dominion over, though? He didn't say the garden. He gave him dominion over the birds of the air, the fish of the sea, the beasts of the field. He gave him dominion over the land. He gave him dominion over everything. Let's go and look at it, because we need to be specific. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Well, 28. Yeah, 26. Elohim said, let's make man in our image, after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, over the creeping thing that creep upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. Elohim baruched them, and Elohim said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over every living thing that move upon the earth. Now we're just going to look at the subdue. Kabosh. And that is the subject, to bring into bondage, to dominate, to subdue. And you have Kaf, Bat, and Shan. Kaf, Bat, and Shan. This is for subdue. Basically, when you looking at subduing, he talking about bringing into submission. Hit my table again, boy. Hit it again, boy. Give me your face, boy.
Compared to the light of the sun?
Huh?
Compared to the light of the sun?
compared to the light of the sun. Very well then. Little bug, what you over there doing? You over there cheesing? Anybody talking to you? There you go then. The sun was pressed and subdued. That's what Saran got.
The work of the sun will prepare you.
The work of the sun will prepare you. Mm. The sun will prepare you to be filled. There it is. I tell you like this here. The sun was consumed and subdued. Because in order to subdue the earth, he had to be subdued. Let's take a look at that and see why. John chapter 3, verse 1. In order to subdue the earth and to bring it into submission or to dominate, he was going to have to be dominated, if you would. And of course, this is going to go into what we discussed last night in the 14th chapter. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Yahudim. The same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher from Elohim. No man can do these miracles that you do, except Elohim be with him. Yahushua answered and said unto him, Truly, truly, I say unto you, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Elohim. Why is this important? Because Mashiach had to be subdued and consumed in order to become what was necessary to enter into the kingdom of Elohim, taking us back to what was in Job 14, or that relief from death. Because from that relief from death, then what happened? He got his change. How do we know he got his change? Because Luke 24, he say, handle me. Because the spirit don't have what? Flesh and bones, as you see me have. That's why he say we will, when we see him, we'll see him as well. We don't know what we going to look like, but we going to know. See, that's why you got to know the gospel so you can know him. Because if you don't know him, then somebody can come up looking at him, you ain't going to be able to tell the difference. See, it's a little hard to put it in the natural sense, but the closest thing you can get is, boy, how could a woman be like, oh, I jumped in the bed and I didn't know that was my husband? Either you didn't look or you wasn't paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't look. You know what I'm talking about? It'd be dark in there. I'd be like, shoot, I thought that was him. You know what I'm saying? Felt like it. You knew that wasn't your husband. Man, then you got to ask yourself why you had a butt naked nigga in your bed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, shoot. Because your wife told me you be doing the same thing. Do much. She say you beat up in the bed. That's what your wife told us the other day. So my wife said I be slapping her in the head. So she don't like to sleep in the bed. She said you just turn over and hit her with a hook. Wow. My wife said I be snoring in the ear. She had to leave the room. I say, well, shoot, I can't tell you. Sleep. She say, look, she say you be beating up in the bed, little Johnny. Yeah.
You talking about you talking about you?
No, I'm saying that you was accused of the same thing I'm accused of.
I don't know about that.
I guess maybe she brought that up to make her feel better.
You're not the only one.
You're not the only one. That nigga punched me in my sleep too. She say you snore though, you be snoring.
If I be working hard, work about 14, 15 hours. I deserve this one.
You say you deserve one, huh? That nigga said I've been cleaning toilets all day. Nigga, if I want to sleep and fart, nigga, get out my way. I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm talking about? Real nigga. Sleep, snore and fart, nigga. Shoot. Nigga don't like go sleep on the couch. Shoot, that nigga say 15 hours cleaning. Shoot. I done did a good 10 or 12. I feel it.
4 trash outs today.
Well, we done did trash. Well, we done did trash house, boy. That junk ain't no 12. Ain't enough daylight. Doggone don't close that cell. Boy, them niggas would scream if I had them out there 12 hours. Man, I want to go home.
Field trip, yo, right here. Right here.
Who? Boy, that nigga Bruce gonna get out and walk.
Right here. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I hate when I old heads want to do that, bro. I'm not bro. But you should be walking home because that ain't the direction I'm going.
That's
Still
how.
got work to do.
But one day that nigga Pooh pissed that nigga Bruce off. Bruce said, "Let me out. Let me out." And nigga, we on Limb Turner. I said, "Nigga, I'm finna take you home, nigga." That nigga said he was finna walk from Limb Turner to murder. Nah, bro, I'm finna take you home. Oh yeah, that nigga Bruce get pissed off. Boy, Bruce gonna catch the butt. 3 and 4. Yeah, Bruce gonna catch the butt. Bruce don't care. That nigga gonna start walking till he see something from me. Say, Nicodemus said unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter in a second time into his mother's womb and be born? Remember, what did we lead off with last night? A man born a woman is full of what? That's ma'am. Trouble, trepidation, anxiety. And why is man full of anxiety and trepidation? Death. Remember what we read in Ecclesiastes? You ain't got no power with that discharge. You don't know when it's coming. That's why you got the anxiety. That's why I mentioned the stuff earlier. That's why people be messed up in the head and have the emotional attachments, because you got this anxiety of something that you know you can't control and you don't know when it's coming. And you want to try to dictate when it happens and how it happens and where it happens. And you don't have no control over that. You ain't got no control over that. You know what I'm saying? It was funny, right? What it is to do industry hoax. That boy put up a video I ain't see because $1. But you can subscribe on Patreon for $1. You know what I'm talking about?
Still get the good quality.
Yeah, I think he called it. It was supposed to be called Dead Rappers, but because of YouTube, he had to change it. But it was funny because the only reason I wanted to see it is because he flashed Who I Smoke in the video, and I just wanted to see what his take is because I know this boy said everything a hoax, and that's when a nigga have to stop him. Like, you know what? I can't speak for none of that stuff right there, but boy, them real people right there though. Those real murders right there. And some of them people, they parents, boy, they still messed up in the head about it because they just ran a news story about it. You know what I'm talking about? And them women still messed up about that. And understandable. It's not that that we can't sympathize or empathize with what they're going through, but it's the fact the emotional attachment is why they're now them niggas talking about their sons and their songs don't make it no better. Because that don't allow you to let me live my life and walk past that. You know what I'm saying? Like most of us, you just hear a record. But could you imagine how the parents of that boy in Chicago, that Tuka boy, feel to hear all these niggas talking about their son like that? And you trying to get past that? You already know baby mama can't be dealing with that too well. It was one of them little boys. I remember they put that junk on the news. Nigga, do you know how much you got to hate a nigga to go to a nigga grave just to urinate on it and videotape yourself doing it? That's a strong disdain for an individual. You know what I'm talking about? But for somebody's family, if you're not rooted in Yahudah, then guess what's gonna happen? That emotional attachment, because a woman's gonna be emotionally attached to her offspring. You know what I'm saying? So then that offspring is removed in whatever fashion that is removed, or that's gonna have a devastating effect on her mental state. You know what I'm saying? It's then it can't make it no better. Nigga talking about they smoking your son, F your son, your dead son, your dead hoe, all this type of stuff. Nigga go hard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, like, it's funny to an outside nigga who thinking, oh, you thinking all these murders just happened for some fame, and these niggas been dead. You know what I'm saying? These niggas ain't just get killed. Some of these niggas been dead for 4 or 5 years. And you got to deal with that every day. Then you got those who feel like it was their fault their son or daughter got killed based on what they were doing. Because some of these niggas, people be in the street, and then they introduce them children to that type of lifestyle. Now your son or daughter is in that lifestyle, and now you really, deep down, you're responsible. You know what I'm saying? You're responsible for that. Man, I've been seeing niggas post up pictures of some of them niggas, man, who be rapping, bro, and 75% of niggas in the photograph dead. That's sad. You know what I'm saying? That's sad. But guess what? That what happened when you buck Yahudah, though. Because you know what he say he do with the sons of the wicked? Sword come looking for him. Sword come looking for him. That what happened with that boy? Like that boy that killed that lady in Vegas? You seen that car on fire?
Oh, yeah,
Man, I seen that junk burning, boy. Boy, that's a hell of a way to go. Man, nigga, TMZ put the live photo up while this nigga sitting on the ground going back and forth. But I'm talking about, boy, that's a heck of a way to go, boy. Be trapped in a burning car. Boy, you got to sit there and look out the window and see life and know you ain't going to get to it. Boy, that's a hell of a way to go, boy.
So light.
No, they said she was alive. She was trapped in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they say, nigga was running trying to get her up out of there, but they couldn't get her up out of there. That's what he just said. Oh, the dude from Moish? That's a heck of a way to go. I ain't being funny or nothing. That's just a heck of a way to go, boy. To be sitting in the car and burn alive, cuz I'd have rather been dead on impact. That's a heck of a way to go, boy. I want to know what that nigga was thinking about, boy. 156 miles an hour?
I seen the dude talking about he say he has some mental health issues.
I don't know. He could have. I ain't got nothing negative to say about it. I just know I'd have been scared. He had to be drinking. Because, boy, I done been going 100. I'm like, what if I lose control of this whole thing? You know what I'm saying? Let me slow this whole down. I'm like, this is a little nerdy stuff going by really fast. All I'm thinking about is, what if I lose control of this car, this whole flip? Let me go ahead and take my foot up. Because sometimes you get in the car, you see how fast they go, and you just want to see, can that nigga really hit it? Can he? Because I really don't want the speeding ticket. You know what I'm talking about? I might go to jail. But then that junk going fast, and you be like, you know what? Stuff to the side is whipping by pretty fast. I'm going to go ahead and take my foot off the gas. You know what I'm saying? Oh, now you smoking crack. Mm-hmm. Dumb crack, smart crack. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Come on, y'all. Verse 5. I can't do that. Truly, I say unto you, except a man be born of water, marvel not I said that you must be born again. That's why we talking about Mashiach himself being sacrificed, because he had to be born again. Ain't nobody got no apple, 8-1. Ain't nobody got no apple, boy. Ain't nobody got no apple, boy. Now you can't get the jacket off. Now they call you tighty. Judges 8:1. And the man of Ephraim said unto him, why have you served us thus? You called us not when you went to fight with the no. Hey man, go clean your nose, man. Got snot on your nose, man. Go clean your nose. I'm not finna clean it. Go get you some tissue and wipe your nose. And you went to fight with the Midianites, and they did chide with him sharply. He said unto them, what have I done now in comparison of you? Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Ebiezer? Elohim have delivered into your hands the princes of Midian, Orab and Zeb. And what was I able to do in comparison of you? Then their anger was abated toward him when he said that. What do y'all think he means? The grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Ebiezer. Let's look at vintage first and foremost. Gosh, that whole hit. No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about how them doggone trees go. Now you got a comparison of grapes. Ebiezer means my father is help. There they go. That steak behind popcorn. That don't smell like feet. Bad feet.
That's not fun.
Now, gleaning is olah, which, of course, you know that is the gathering in or grapes. Again, it says, he said unto them, what do I have done now in comparison of you? When we look at comparison. Or it's not even there, just gleaning. It's just the gleaning. Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Ebiezer? Again, vintage is bat, seer, bat, sod, yard, and raj. So what he's saying is that one vineyard has better grapes than another. You got the grapes that my father has held and the grapes of affliction. Somebody just burnt their popcorn.
Eat the burnt real quick.
Oh no.
Burnt feet, golly.
Hush. Because ain't nothing wrong with you. You're phony. I don't like it. Fix your face. Over there with your mama? No, you don't. Because if you did, you'd already be over there. You want to bet on your butt? You want a high five? You want a low five? You want a hug?
You already say what vintage means? What does it mean?
It's a vineyard. Just basically, for lack of a better term, it's a vineyard. Grape crops. Crops of grapes. For vintage. Bat seer. Bat, sod, yard, and raj. You simply look at it, take that side. Of course, you know, you would just keep it simple with that way. You know what I'm saying? So I want to take that yard and probably make it work. Yeah, that's it. That's the only way you're going to get that. Matter of fact, since that being said, come over here to John chapter 5. Is it 5? No, chapter 6, verse 43. Yahudah, this is John 6 and 43. Yahudah therefore answered and said unto them, murmur not among yourselves. No man can come to me except Abba which sent me, draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. It is written in the prophets, they shall all be taught of Elohim. Every man therefore that have heard and have learned of Abba come unto me. No man have seen Abba, save he which is of Elohim. He have seen Abba. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believe on me have everlasting life. So when you look at that, right, he said no man can come except what? Father drawing. So you have to be drawn to be a part of this grape crop. Now notice that he said the grape crop of Ephraim is better than the vintage of Abiezer. Let's look at the next verse. Elohim delivers you into the hands of the princes of Midian, Orab, and Zeb. What shall I be able to do in comparison to you? In comparison of you, then they were no longer angry. Let's look at comparison, especially when we're looking at these grapes. Now, with comparison is simply the word for it's simply ruach. So he's saying, what breath, what will I be able to do with a spirit in comparison to you? Or how is my spirit going to be different? Then they were no longer angry. Abated is Rapha. And that's all you need out of it. So you look at Orab and Zeb, you could be sitting back looking at being given over to your adversaries. Or y'all don't recall what he said you would serve other gods at? Oh, we just read last night. In Jeremiah 16 to be exact.
So a place.
He didn't give an exact location. But what he did say was, since you didn't want to serve me in your land, you'll serve other gods in the land that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You'll be subject to your enemy's desires. Not only are you subject to you, because we're talking about who is Midian. That's right. That's the son of Keturah and Abraham, the Midianites. And you know who they was in affiliation with in this book of Judges at this time? The Philistines. At one particular time, but in the book of Judges, your main antagonist is the Philistines. And at this time, he's telling you that Ephraim, meaning what? The fruit of my affliction is greater than my father's help. Or the grapes of affliction is greater than the grapes of his help. That's what he's trying to impress unto you. And he said, what can I do in comparison or ruach to you? When they heard that, they relaxed. Why are the people able to relax? We can sit back and look at that. When Mashiach manifests that, people were able to relax. Again, an example. We were just in that John chapter 6. Remember when he ran out all that stuff and some of them people were offended? Peter said, where are we going to go? You have words of eternal life. They were able to relax. Another instance of this is John chapter 8, when he said he turned to those Yahudim and he said, if you follow me, then you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Those people were able to relax. You're looking at an individual where he's trying to tell them that there's a particular fruit that is better than another particular fruit. And when he told them this, because you had been sold to who? The Midianites. Hold on, I'll give you the nationalities of all these people you were sold to. But like your man was talking about, he say the saints is at war. The saints saying that only person the saints at war with right now is the devil. You know what I'm talking about? That's the only person you at war with right now. You ain't at war with nobody. Niggas kill me with that. They out here killing us. Them sinner problems. Let me ask y'all a question. How many people y'all done heard that got killed and they were servants of Yahudah? Where anybody came out and said, I ain't talking about bump the news media, because you know niggas gonna tell it. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas gonna tell it. That man was a servant of God. It's only one person I know of who might have been close to being, you could say, being a servant of Yahudah who got killed by the police, and that was in Missouri around the time of Mike Brown. A dude who was affiliated with IUIC got killed, but they say that boy had mental issues. And they believe that what led to the police shooting him. This I don't recall his name because it didn't make media coverage. Only the people who was in IUIC made mention of him. It was on local news in St. Louis or whatever that city was where Mike Brown was from. But they made mention of it because he was a part of their organization. And they was like, it's unfortunate he got killed, but they were like, but it was awful. I can't remember his name. Shoot, I ain't remember the story till just now. I just was long. What that was, 2016?
Somewhere around.
With Mike Brown? No. Anybody else? I ain't gonna say Jermaine Grant, because Jermaine Grant was stealing and he died in prison from COVID, allegedly. They said he had COVID. If you don't know who Jermaine Grant is, that's High Priest Tazadaki, known to others as the Comforter. That's what he called himself. He said he was the Comforter of John chapter 14, 26. Big Comforter. That's what he called himself. I think it wasn't light skinned. That's Tazarok. That boy there, this boy in ISUPK. Yeah. Tazadaki. That's who he looked like. Tazadak was a part of the original UPK, and he split off to come up with something, the Church of Jesus Christ or something of that nature. And he was calling himself the Comforter. That nigga was on Jerry Springer back in the day. You pull up Hebrew Israelites on Jerry Springer, and you're going to see the nigga who I'm talking about. Oh, I'll pull it up for y'all. That nigga made an action figure of himself and was mad because the action figure was too Caucasian. Pale face.
I like
Hold on, y'all. That's him talking right here. This is Tazadak, the big comforter. That's him right there. Yeah, that's him right there. That's who I'm talking about. He passed away last year, I believe. He's from your neck of the woods, Michael. That's how y'all breed him in Brooklyn. Yeah. Gentrified now. We don't act like that. I don't know if he's from Brooklyn or not, but he's from New York City. Did you ever see them boys out there in Times Square when you used to see what you used to think of the boy when you used to be walking past? Why were you scared? What you used to think when you seen him? No matter what you heard, they say, let me rephrase that. Like did you ever stop and talk to him? You like, oh no, I'm too dangerous for that. Or what you didn't what you didn't like about the costumes, man? But when you heard certain things they had to say, like, can you recall some of the things that went through your mind when you heard them niggas saying what they were saying? Or mentally off? Right. No, I'm just asking your honest assessment. Like you walking down the street, you hear niggas, that's right. You know what I'm saying? Read. I remember because them boys good at stuff. Sister, why you walking out here on the Sabbath with them pants on? That's what they like to do. Sister, you got too much cleavage out trying to show your titties for that white devil. Got that weave in your head. Yeah, them boys like this here, they'll stop. You know what I'm saying? That time your homeboy was battling with them niggas, I went around there, they out there in front of Winn-Dixie. Yo, breaking the Sabbath. And I'm like, them people don't care what you talking about. Them niggas go get that rump roast, Nate. You know what I'm saying? They finna go get that rump roast, them turkey wings, them fat neck backs, all that. They want no neck bone, they want his back. You know what I'm saying? You thinking you finna get them people to, you know what? I'm gonna take these groceries back and go back and serve the Lord. Them niggas finna get in the car and go. Yeah, nigga walking past this crazy nigga here. Yeah, it was one like this here, man. I told them boy that. I say, bro, how y'all think y'all gonna win a nigga telling them they going to hell in front of Winn-Dixie? Oh, man. That nigga was like, bro, we gonna go out there to the fair. We gonna drive their word. I said, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't finna go out there and bother them people. That's why they at the fair. You know what I'm saying? And you think they want to, this is what they want to hear? A nigga telling them they going to hell for going to get on the Ferris wheel after they got off the Ferris wheel? They ain't like, they gonna be on top. They gonna really be thinking they be doing something when they be doing that, John, man. Huh? Oh yeah, them boys gonna be out there now. They ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying?
They said that's not their Sabbath.
What's that?
By the moon.
All of them don't go by the moon. All one West camps don't go by the moon. Matter of fact, 99.9% of them don't.
No, but even the ones who say that though, they still be out on the Sabbath.
Oh yeah, I know because GMS don't go by the moon, and them boys out there faithfully every Saturday. Yeah, they out there. Come on. What y'all got going on? You got Midian. Midian means strife. Oreb. Oreb means raven. This is also a chief tribe of the Midianites. Zeb. Zeb means wolf. And again, this is another prince of the Midianites where they came to go to war in the wine press. Now remember, this is Gideon who is engaging with these people. Verse 4 of Judges chapter 8. And Gideon came to Jordan and passed over. He and 300 men that were with him faint, yet pursuing. Do y'all remember how did they get down to these 300? Lapping at the river. That's when you hear them Hebrews. See, they took 300 from us. Well, I done seen Bruce say that, boy. They got that from us. Book of Judges. I'm like, boy, you niggas need a life. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest with you. Now I want you to pay attention to this. He said they were faint, yet they pursued. He said unto the men of Succoth, give, I pray you, loaves of bread unto the people that follow me, for they be what? Faint. And I'm pursuing after Zebah. And so this important. What he asked them to do? For the people that what? But he said to the men that were what? What does that relate to? When he fed the people. He said, what did he say? He said, I can't send these people back. They'll faint in the way. They've been following me. That's also showing you how he would give his flesh to the people who were weary. See, come over here to look at Isaiah chapter 40 real quick, like verse 29. Hold on, let me even find the spot where he fed them with the load. You should have brought your own Bible. You should have brought your own Bible. But you know what you brought instead? You brought snacks. You did bring snacks. Little Mike brought his Bible. What you say? Oh, he ain't gonna know what you mean. You said that. Well, what you telling me for? You must want me to take it. You got to want me to take it. Matthew 15:24. Yeah, you want me to take it. So what you telling people you got money for? So nobody need to know that. Rule number one as a man, boy, nobody don't need to know what you got. For all they know, you broke. You don't need to be telling people you got no money. Unless you're trying to be a trick or get robbed. You don't need to tell nobody you got no money. If you had 15 monies, nobody need to know that. It ain't their business. That's between you and your pocket. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent unto the lost sheep of the house of Yasharal. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. He answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. She said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from the master's table. Yahushua answered and said unto her, O woman, great is your faith, be it unto you as you will. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. Yahushua departed from thence and came nigh unto the Sea of Galilee and went up into a mountain and sat down there. Great multitudes came unto him, having with them those that were lame, blind, dumb, maimed, many others, and cast them down, insomuch that the multitude wondered when they saw the dumb to speak, the maimed to behold, the lame to walk, and the blind to see, and they esteemed the Elohim of Yasharal. Then Yahushua called his disciples and said, I have compassion on the multitude. They have continued with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat. I will not send them away fasting lest they faint in the way. You just seen how he said those men following with him were faint. Get yourself together, boy. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. Come to Isaiah 40 and 29. Make it 26. Isaiah 40, 26. $40. Lift up your eyes on high and behold who have created these that bring out their host by number. He called them all by names, by the greatness of his might, that he's strong in power. Not one fail. Why say you, O Jacob, and speak, O Yasharal, my way is here. Have you not heard? The everlasting Elohim Yahudah, the creator of the ends of the earth, faint not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. He gives power to the faint. To them that have no might, he increase strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait on Yahudah shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Now, look at what he said to give them so they wouldn't faint. But as Sean got on the bread of life, but it's pointing you back to what? Yahushua feeding the people. He was showing you that those who followed after him, when they became weary, that he would give them bread or give them the word that would give them strength. Why? Because trusting Yahudah is everlasting strength. Let's return back to Judges chapter 8. Eight and 5. He said unto the men of Succoth, what does Succoth mean, Lil Johnny? Go on and tell him. That's boobs. That's it. Look, Johnny said when he was a young man, he liked to hang at Sokof Benoit. So you ain't never dwell at the house of hope. Look at me. I've been in the house of hope. Now he down here. He Maul. I'm just here for the whatever Maul said on the song. Now you must have been listening to that on your way over here. He was playing that on the way over here. I just came for the wing lemon pepper. You think we didn't know you were listening to Maul when you came over here? Nisha used to be in the house of hoes. Nisha in there. Nisha used to be in the house of hoes. What you talking about, baby? Now you want to grab your cap and tilt it and pat your head. You told on yourself. Cause I seen you looking at Johnny, like shaking your head, like yeah, I've been in there. I seen you. I know Deidre been in the house of hoes. That's it. And you were ready to go. You were like, I'm a tip. Lil Johnny said he stayed at the bar because they say as long as you keep a cup, you ain't got a tip. Now you know they used to have that sign: tip, sip, or dip. Then Lil Johnny be right there. Ooh, it's water in here. He's like, you paying these hoes? I got some water in here. Yeah. Michael used to go in the house of hoes. What you went in there for? Who took you in there? That was your idea? How you let them convince you to do such a thing? You just don't strike me as a nigga who would go along with that idea. So I can see why you say only you just don't strike me like, yeah, come on, Michael, let's go to the strip club. And you like, I don't want to see booty cheeks clapping. I don't want to come in here. Did you enjoy yourself? What? Well then, so you was in there tipping. You was that, well, you were putting your hands in them people's panties. She said, no, she wasn't. She said, No, I know you wasn't because you. You was in a black bar or white. I don't know, man. I mean, you got some people like you can see like they hang around people where they can make their way there. She just don't. I just would have like I can see like only been one. She just don't. I ain't going in there. No, I ain't going in there. Cause shoot, I ain't never. I'm like this here. Well, I go in there and I'm going in the back. I'm smoking my reef. I ain't getting them hoes a dime. You know what I'm talking about? Can't nothing about these funky hoes, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah, cause my homeboy used to like to go. And he be like, come with him. And he didn't want to slide up there by himself because he handling business in there. You know what I'm talking about? Man, I don't care nothing about that. I'm not going there. I don't get these hoes. Nothing. No, I ain't none of that. Man, I remember the first time we ever went to the club, man, them niggas were going crazy. My homeboy around there eating coochie on the lady on stage. Y'all had murder on soul. He was a wild guy all the way around. He was. That's my nigga. He dead now though, but you know. I mean, shoot, we were young. Nigga already knew he was a freak. You know what I'm saying? That nigga went up there. That nigga was up on that stage. Nigga said, "Boy, look at great baby. Boy, that nigga down here eating no coochie." That's what we called it. You know what I'm saying?
The name tell itself.
Oh man, it was like 25 of us, so all of us ain't ride together. Well, we came that night. I'm talking about it might have been more. It was like 30. I told you, a couple of homeboy came in there, sweatpants, no drawers on. I'm talking about nylon sweatpants too. I mean, we were young. I'm talking about like 18. So this some of these boys' first experience going to a strip club. Them boys were ready. We was at Magic City. That junk was right over there in San Marcos. Because that was about the only club in the city at the time where the women were naked. You know what I'm saying? Well, they hadn't passed the ordinances where if you sold alcohol, they couldn't be naked. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, them boys was in there wilding, man. You know what I'm talking about? If they don't sell alcohol, they can be naked. But it was only one club that was left like that. That was the Dollhouse. They were grandfathered in. And I think when they demolished the Dollhouse so they could build the overpass that they built over there on Beach in Atlanta, when you come on to Fuller Warren and they put them on Phillips, I don't think they got that clause no more. You know what I'm saying? That junk crazy, man. Them niggas were wild in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we were pulling all type of okie doke moves. Tell them I get a lap dance, don't pay them hoes. You know what I'm talking about? All that there, man. Shoot, my homeboy stole about 2 rights, and boy, that nigga spent $1,800 in that hoe. That nigga like, give niggas money. Shoot, man, my homeboy on the beach, he used to take you with him, and he'll give you $500-600 to throw. I'm like, man, why I don't never be around when that nigga be like, man, slide. Nigga, I'm cuffing all that. Oh, nothing. Oh, yeah. He would get it like that, man. He'll have like 5 people with him, bro. It's 500, here's a band. Nigga, rock out. I'm gonna rock out, all right. Ain't gonna even be no yo-yo. I'm already gonna have a fat bag. I'm gonna be off in the cut. And then, of course, you know, I used to go with the chick, man. You know what I'm saying? That junk was different then, because that's different. You go in a strip club with a chick, that junk be different. Niggas weird. That wasn't my environment, though. Some people like that. Sakuf Benof wasn't my thing. Look at my, he's like, yeah, I liked it. Huh? Come on, man. Verse 6, man. I ain't fooling with you, nigga. And the princess of Succoth said, the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna now in your hand, that we should give bread unto your army. Gideon said, therefore, when Yahudah have delivered Zebah and Zalmunna in my hand, then when I tear your flesh with the thorns of the wilderness and with briars. He went up thence to Penuel, spake unto them likewise, and the men of Penuel answered him as the men of Succoth had answered him. They would not supply bread. So you know what that means? They not his enemies. And he spake also to the men of Penuel, saying, when I come again in Shalom, I will break down this tower. Now Zebah and Zalmunna were in Kakor, and their hosts with them about 15,000, all that were left of the hosts of the sons of the east. For there fell 120,000 men that drew sword. Gideon went up by the way of him that dwelt in the tents east of Nobah and Jogabah, and smote the host, for the host was secure. When Zebah and Zalmunna fled, he pursued after them, and he took the 2 kings of Midian, Zebah and Zalmunna, and discomfited all the hosts. And Gideon, the son of Joash, returned from battle before the sun. What do you think that means, Gideon, returning from battle before the sun? Just so you know what Gideon name means, if you don't remember, is hewer. Y'all know what a hewer is? You know what a hewer is? Somebody who cuts down, a hewer of wood. He swings swords, axes.
2 things came on. One, when you was talking about man works in the day, 12 hours in the day.
Mm-hmm.
The other one goes without saying.
Well, what one go without saying? What you talking about?
The one with taking his body off.
He say taking it off the state. Y'all know what discomforted mean, right? What's the answer, little Michael? Yes. Good job, son. Discomfited is karad. It means that they quake, they're terrified. They scared. He's saying he returned before the sun was up. You can go 3 ways. He just mentioned one, but you can go 3 ways. I'll give you the first one that Stanley mentioned. Come on over here to John 19, and then we'll double back to Matthew 27. What you over there talking about, Buggy? Buggy? Little Buggy?
Yo.
You not Buggy? Who are you? Who? Who? I don't know what you said. You Yanni. You little buggy. Hey, buggy. Hi, Yanni. Hi, Yanni. 1931. I'm Yanni. That's what you do. Yeah. The Yahudim, therefore, was the preparation that the body should remain upon the stake on the Shabbat, for that Shabbat was a high day, and besought that their legs might be broken, that they might be taken away. Then came the soldiers to break the legs of the first, and of the others which were crucified with him. But when they came to Yahushua and saw that he was dead already, they brake not his legs. Now, of course, you know, this is verse 38. After Joseph's arrhythmia, being a disciple secretly for the Yahudim, for fear of the Yahudim, besought Pilate that they might take away the body of Yahushua, and Pilate gave him leave, and he came therefore and took the body of Yahushua. Now, of course, you know, this is happening before the sun was up, because you know he made it darkness over the earth. Because I would have said it has that sun was up, but it's just saying before the sun. So let me tell you these words here when you got before the sun. Now, when you have before, you have ma'alah, and that is an ascent or incline, or of course, before the rising of the sun. Sun, of course, you have here is Koresh, and that is the sun. Just so you can know what those words is. And he said he returned from the battle. Let me get you battle for you, if you would. And of course, that's Milkamah. That's battle, war. So Gideon, the hewer, or the swinger of swords, returns from war before the rising of the sun, or at the rising of the sun. That's why I say you could take this three ways. Now, the Matthew 27, we're just going to look at it where it mentioned that the sky was dark. But at this instance, has he returned from the battle? No, he is not. Well, I can say that, I'll take that back. You can, because he battled the flesh and he died. Because we already talked about that last night, man being full of trouble, and he had the anxiety, and the anxiety or the trepidation was like, I don't want to die. But it's two more ways that you can view this. One, which is of the greater importance of the three. Anybody? What about you, Deidre? Bird? Why you look like you want to cry, little buggy? Ain't nothing wrong with you. What can you use to justify Gideon returning from the battle at the rising of the sun? Returned also here is Sav or Shub, and of course that is to turn back, to return. So he returns from the war at the ascent of the sun. And that is what you have. Matthew chapter 28. Because we were talking about it last night in Ecclesiastes. What did he say? You don't have no discharge in what? In that war. – 28:1. We'll look at all four of them just for the verbiage, because I can just be that anal. Matthew 28:1. In the end of the Shabbat, as it began to dawn, but towards the first of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to the sepulchre. See, I was talking to my homeboy about that. He was like, Mary Magdalene was a whore. No, she was not. And that is highly unfortunate that a woman has been called a whore for a multitude of history. And the text does not say at a single solitary time that Mary Magdalene was a whore. They get it out their butthole. And I ain't even being funny. They just made it up. They just made it up. They try to equate that with Lazarus' sister because they said that she was a sinner and people just inferred that she was a whore. But the text says that Mary Magdalene had what?
Unclean spirit.
She had unclean spirits. Let's go on here. That's what I think I said, Matthew. But that ain't got nothing to do with a little toot toot boot boot. That ain't got nothing to do with that. You didn't take a nap. Now you're tired. Luke chapter 8, verse 1. I don't want you to see that in the text with the text bear witness. The text does not say that Mary. They also tell you Mary Magdalene was his old lady. But he was like, she was a whore. I'm like, no, she was. And I'm like, bro, I said, you know, and this is my nigga in real life. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It was my nigga before the word. And I'm like, bro, I've been doing it 12 years, man. I wouldn't want no hoe. You know what I'm saying? You can sell that junk to somebody else. He like, pull it up. I say, ain't nothing to pull it up. You tell me, I got mine in the box. I don't care where you got it at. You know what I'm saying? I got mine on me. I ain't got to pull my phone out. They got to tell you a lot of things, boy. I wouldn't want no whore. That's not what their book say. Don't care what you niggas say. I ain't finna go along with it because y'all said it. And it's saying it came to pass afterward that he went through every city and village, preaching and showing the glad tidings of the kingdom of Elohim. And the 12 were with him. And certain women which had been healed of evil spirits and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils. Now we'll look at it in the Greek for your listening pleasures, for your instructional purposes, that y'all can see exactly what he's talking about. Number one, he said that there were certain women that had been healed of evil spirits. Evil in Greek is poneros, that is being of toils or annoyances or perils or bad nature or condition. So at the base level, she had some bad spirits. Pneuma is the word for spirit. And you know, it's all type of junk, because you know the Greeks was on some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have simplicity of words as we did. But of course, it's as it reads, an evil spirit. I just wasn't finna read all that. And infirmities is ashathnia, and that is weakness or infirmity. So when it says infirmity right here, what should come to your mind scripturally if they had some infirmities that he healed them from? There should be a story that should come to mind out of the Gospels immediately about healing infirmities in regards to women.
That's the issue of blood.
A woman with the issue of blood. That's it. Did he say that woman had that infirmity for how many years? 12. He said, should she not be healed from this infirmity? See, infirmities is not wickedness. It's that you have an infirmity, a medical or physical issue, if you would. And the text says clearly that Mary Magdalene was, what's the word I'm looking for? Endued clean spirits. And what do unclean spirits do to you? They torment you. You know, a lot of dudes say a lot of things. She got evil spirits on her. No, she ain't got an evil spirits on her. She just an evil spirit. That's what that is. That's just an evil person. Niggas don't got spirits on them that make them evil. That nigga's evil. Let's just call that for what it is. I hate when niggas do that. That nigga got an evil spirit on him. No, that nigga got an evil spirit. You know what I'm saying? Call it what it is. Because that means you giving credit to some demons got a nigga acting like that versus that nigga's evil. Oh, he got a lying spirit on him. That nigga just a liar. That take away. We need to start saying this here. Niggas say that nigga got a whole nigga spirit on him. That nigga a butt. He got a sucker spirit. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? That nigga got a vaginal spirit. There's a lot of men out here got vaginal spirits. Nigga, every time he open his mouth, vaginal fluid coming out. Nigga eyes is his lobby, and his nose is his clit. This nigga a hoe. Straight up. That's what a nigga need to start doing. That nigga got a vaginal spirit. Ain't carrying yourself like a man, boy. You niggas be ready to kill you then. Come on back to Judges chapter 8. I don't recommend you doing that unless you're willing to fight. You talking about why am I like what? I don't know what you're talking about. Just say, why are you like that? What your shirt say, what? Oh, say genius at work, don't disturb. That's it. Real talk though, man. Some people just got bad spirits. And you talking about bad spirits, that means that internally that's a bad person. Remember, Hebrew, what is the Hebrew word for bad? Ra, which means what? Disagreeable. You say somebody got an evil spirit, you're saying they have a disagreeable spirit, or you're a disagreeable individual. Ra means evil, disagreeable, unpleasant. Disagreeable. Where we at? Judges 8? Did I even read Matthew? Oh, I wanted to read all of them. Yeah, I had to do that there because we were talking about Mary Magdalene. Verse 2, Matthew 28. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the Amalekim of Yahudah descended from Shamahim and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it. His countenance was like lightning, his raiment white as snow. Slow on, Brother Craig. Oh, no, this is a tad bit different. Kira say the 7 just man fallen 7 times came to mind with the 7 spirits. You know what I'm saying? But really the 7 spirits is an equation to she had 7 devils, the same way that Mashiach got the 7 Ruachs of Elohim. But that's a different conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's a different conversation. We're talking about that. Because it's not a parallel there. It's just a different conversation. Do you know where you can find them 7 spirits at, Elohim? That's in Isaiah chapter 11, where it's enumerated. And there's one that's left out that's mentioned after he resurrected from the dead. He said, for the fear of him, the keepers did shake and became as dead. And the Malachim answered and said unto the women, fear not you, for I know that you seek Yahushua, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen. Come see the place where the Lord lay. Come on over here to Mark 16. I'm going to run them all down on the house. See, I want y'all to know something too, because this was a brother I know, he was going live talking about this here, right? And I think y'all already know this. A lot of names in the text are very, very common. You know what I'm saying? And Mary was a very common name. Names like Benaiah were very common. Name like Judah is very common. Because that's what Judas is Judah. It's very, very common names. You know what I'm saying? It's several names without any way you got a whole bunch of people got the same name. It wasn't no different. It ain't like every Hebrew had some unique name. That's what these stupid niggas want to let you believe. That ain't the case. Ain't like I'm naming him Judah. That's Judah, son of John, not Judah, son of James. It's a whole nother dude. Yeah. Yeah.
This Joseph. It was another one that fit that home.
Yeah, no, that's case in point. I forgot about that. And you've seen a lot of people had the same name. You know what I'm saying? Very common, very common. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, for the most part, unless it moved otherwise, most men name their son after themselves. You know what I'm saying? That aspect of being like Joseph the Fourth, very common. They just didn't add the 4th on there in the 3rd. See, that's an Anglo-Saxon thing to add all that there. You know what I'm saying? You would just be Joseph son of Joseph, but they would mention where your daddy was from. That's so you're right. Each definitely hit that on, and they would definitely make the difference by putting son of, and then like I said, and then they would put where your daddy was from, so people would know when they were reading that, oh, that's such and such from Bethel, and that's such and such from Bazoo, and this such and such from Bethlehem, this such and such, so you would know because too many people had the same name. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know people like to look at it different. Now, you know, niggas want to come up with all type of names. Look like they said, don't you name your first child Boquisha? That's what niggas like to do. She said, I would never. She already told her what she was going to do. She said she have a daughter, and she going to be Michael Jr. How you going to be a junior?
You ain't said that. Tell us you ain't said that. Are you serious? Are you serious? Eminem.
Well, what you said, I'm mistaken.
Look at your face. Look at your face.
It don't necessarily have to be the first name, because I know I'm not in charge of picking the names.
Well, it's up to him.
I said I would hope that it would be a middle name. I didn't say anything.
She want to walk around here like this here. I want to name my baby Michael.
I said middle name.
Michael Jr. Then he gonna walk around here, Mama, why your name Michael? Because I went to school with 3 boys and their name was Michael. That's not a boy. That's not a girl's name. Now he confused. Nigga, that Michael. Dude like to say, what's up? I was calling your mom. Nah, I didn't mess with Sue. Turn. After the first son, straight up now, I don't care what your name. If I ain't moved and dropped nothing on him, I don't care what you call him. You take care of that there. But the first boy, oh, that's all me. I'll handle that. Girls, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Just don't give my baby no nigga name. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't need her dealing with no nigga consequences. Nigga go to picking on my child, boy, I'm going to kill me a nigga. I'm talking about nothing physically. I'm going to come up there and I'm raining on them children. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. They've been raining on my daughter. I'm coming up there to rank on your children. Look at you, nigga, booking old little boy. All that. They gonna be like, you 45 years old, ranking on kids. You fit soul is. Nigga shouldn't have been ranking on mine, nigga. Straight up. Call me, nigga. Don't worry about it, baby. You ain't got no jokes. Your daddy got plenty. And I sit right in the classroom and pick on all the children. That's why you can't read, nigga. Look at you. Holy grade. Shoot, read better. Tell me, that's what you do. You got a skill to nigga be messing with your children. Go up there and pick on them children.
What was Lil Noah ranking on the children?
Who?
Lil Noah.
Shoot, that to get ranked on too. And one of these children rank on my children, boy, I'm ranking back. Straight up now, that's what you do. Don't you rank with him, baby. You come get me. My son, you better win, nigga. You're out of the family. Don't come back here talking about you lost no rank battle, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But my little girl, no. You come get me. We sitting here, I'm going to rank on all them children. Every last one of them. You know what I'm talking about? And if your mama got a debt problem with her, I'm ranking on her too. You know what I'm talking about? Your daddy come in here, he could get each other too. Because I'm going to look at them. They had to get it from you, nigga, so come on. It's a battle. Shoot, better than arguing, fussing, and fighting and jokes. Niggas be better. You know what I'm saying? Some people need to laugh. It's ugly like it. Mark 16:1. And when the Shabbat was passed, Mary Magdalene, Mary of James, see how they took that? They put the mother on there. The of James, you would already know culturally that that's his mother. And Salome had brought sweet spices that they might come and anoint him. And very early in the morning, in the first of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun. Remember, it says that Gideon was gone before the inclining of the sun. You understand? He was gone before. That's when he returned. Yahudah returned from the grave before he was already gone. He was already gone. Why do we know he was already gone? Because that man got up soon as the Shabbat passed. Because now what could he? He could do it in the seas. He went back to work. Why did he go back to work after the Shabbat was in it, Michael? Oh, you don't know why he went back to work? Or when you think he got up out the grave then?
Why he went to what?
When did he get up out the grave then? What day? Huh? The third day? Oh, no, baby. He didn't get up on the third day. That's the third day of the week. I'll put it to you this way because you're not familiar. Most Hebrews feel like Mashiach rose on the Shabbat, and he did not. He got up on the first day of the week. You know what I'm saying? And why did he get up on the first day of the week? Because when you go look in the law, his father rested on the Shabbat, ceased from all his labors, and he rested. He's going to do everything his father did. You don't do no work on the Shabbat. So therefore, it takes you back to Genesis 49 with Issachar that he saw rest was good. I think we just read something about rest last night. So when you look at that rest, why would he be getting up on the Shabbat and doing work on the Shabbat? That makes no sense. That's why he wanted to rest. Because if you go read Exodus 31, he say on the Shabbat, they were renewed or refreshed, which means to be renewed or pointing to a resurrection from the dead. That's Exodus 31, probably like verse 12 to 14, somewhere in there. You read it for yourself. You know what I'm talking about? So when you see them coming on the first day of the week, they wouldn't have came to the grave on a Shabbat anyway. You know what I'm saying? No obedient, fearful servant of Elohim is popping up at no grave on no Sabbath. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? See, all these brews, they be like, oh, them Christians, they say he got up on the first day of the week and 3 nights from Friday to Sunday. Who said it was? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This got to do with the law. You go read Genesis chapter 2 for yourself. You know what we finna do. Come on, Eugene. In the midst of the week, which was in the midst of the feast. That's why, indeed, the grave makes you unclean. That's why you know. That's another reason why you know they wasn't going to no grave on no Sabbath. It's all gonna be unclean. What I'm going out there for? Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and earth were finished and all the hosts. And on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he had rested on the seventh day from all the work which he had made. Elohim baruched the seventh day and sanctified it, because in that day he rested from all his works which Elohim created and made. Now let's go on over here to Genesis 49 on the house. 49. Genesis 49. Verse 17. You gonna read it with me? You're a big boy? Yes. It ain't verse 17, though. It's verse 14. Genesis 49 and 14. You ready? Issachar is a strong ass couching down between 2 burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant. And he bowed his shoulder to bear and became a servant under tribute. Good job. What are those 2 burdens? Those 2 burdens are the house of Yasharal and the house of Yahudah. You know, they tell you that some Mexicans. There ain't no Mexicans, boy. Of course, he saw rest was good. What he told his apostles, I got to die tonight. And of course, the shoulder to bear is him bearing the stake. Exodus 31 for the other element. Amen, Brother Craig. Exodus 31. and 15. Exodus 31 and 15. 6 days may work be done, and the 7th is the Shabbat of rest. Kadash to Yahudah. Whosoever do any work in the Shabbat day, he shall surely be put to death. when the sons of Yasharal shall keep the Shabbat to observe the Shabbat throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the sons of Yasharal forever. In 6 days, Yahudah made Shamahim and Arats, and on the 7th day he rested and was refreshed. Somebody look up that word for refresh, and you read it out loud too. Somebody read that for me. Tell me what that word refresh means. I'm coming over here to John 19. Navash. What it say?
To breathe.
To breathe.
Be refreshed.
To be refreshed. To be breathed upon. Oh, that Roman 8. Take breath with that Roman 8. He rose him from the dead, didn't he? How did Elisha raise that boy from the dead? What he did? And did what? Breathed on it. What Elijah did to raise that little boy from the dead? Breathed on him. What did Mashiach do when he resurrected from the dead? Breathed on him. What did he do to Adam? He became a living Nephad. You become a quickening spirit. Uh-oh. So guess what that means? That man ain't get up on no Sabbath, boy. That man got up on the first day of the week. I don't care if you think Christians said all that there. They wasn't wrong. They may have no understanding, but they wasn't wrong. That man gonna follow what the law say. That man say everything the Father do, the Son do what? So if the Father rested on the 7th day, what the Son gonna do? So what he working on the Sabbath for? Why he ain't gonna keep his own law? What did it say when it said Yahudah was finished working? What he said? It was finished. Let's see what the Lord said. 1928. It was good. After this, Yahushua, knowing that all things were now accomplished, that the scripture might be fulfilled, say, I thirst. Now therefore was set a vessel full of vinegar. They filled the sponge with vinegar, put it upon hyssop, put it to his mouth. And when Yahushua therefore received the vinegar, he said, it is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. Didn't we read about giving up the ghost last night? He said he finished. I mean, if he finished, what's finished? The word. What did he say in John 17? Just turn on over a couple pages. Just turn on over a couple pages. That's all you got to do. John 17:1. And these words spake Yahushua, lifted up his eyes to Shamahim and said, Abba, the hour was come, esteem your son, that your son may esteem you, as you have given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as you've given him. And this is life eternal, that they may know you, the only true Elohim, and Yahushua HaMashiach, whom you have sent. I have esteemed you on the earth. I have finished the work which you gave me to do. So therefore, rest is good for me. I finished working. That's what Lil Johnny say. He say, if I want to stay in the bed and fart and snore after these 16 hours, that's what I'm going to do. Because the work is finished. And I seen rest was good. What that law, boy, but in Proverbs, he say, rest is sweet to him who been laboring. Hold on. We ain't done. Don't you worry about what's done. You ain't got nothing to do and you ain't got nowhere to go. So get that smirk off your face. Always cheesing and whatnot. See, I know what you want. You want a foot dead up your butt. Come over here. We'll take this Proverbs 13 and 19 for a second. I'm trying to remember the other spot that's escaping. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it's an abomination to fools to depart from evil. Don't you know that? That's done real, that's sweet to the soul. There it is. That's what I want. There it is. Ecclesiastes 5 and 12. That's what I want. Ecclesiastes 5 and 12. Listen what it says. The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him. He got too much stuff. Let's look at that.
Sleeping real good.
Sleep. Shana. Come on with it, y'all. Sean, Noon, and Olive. Sean, Noon, and Olive. Nobody talking to you, boy. Nobody talking to you, boy. It's sweet. I thought I did this for y'all not too long ago.
Strength will pay you to life.
The strength will pay you to life. Look at that, right? The strength to pay to life. Let's look at the laboring man. That's a bar. You know what that is? That's a man who do labor. That's a man who serve. Now that is sweet. That sweet ain't that man.
Hold on. Mine says sweet.
Oh, there it go. It had it in italics over here. That's sweet. I mean, this something that's pleasant. This is where we don't talk about mathok.
Whoa.
So the sleep of a man who does service is pleasant. It said whether he eat little or much. Little. So we ain't worried about the rich man. Because you know what he is. See, that's that Luke with the rich man. I got to build a bigger barn. Man, we ain't talking about that today. I just want y'all to see that there. That's why Mashiach ain't had no qualms about dying. And that is ma'at, meme tet, meme ayin and tet, little. Just that there in the third. But again, it said the sleep of a laboring man is sweet. You sit back and you look at that, right? Yahushua said, I finished the work which you gave me to do. You don't think his sleep was pleasant? Because he wasn't going to suffer his Kadash one to see corruption. Why wouldn't it be pleasant? That go back to the thing I was just telling y'all about death from the jump. If you're not a laboring man, then death not going to be sweet for you. What did we read last night in 1 Corinthians 15? He said, brethren, always abound in the work of the Lord, for your labor is not in vain. That sleep for a laboring man is always going to be pleasant. Ain't no pleasantries in death for a non-worker. See, a lot of people think they doing work. See, we doing the work. You ain't doing the work if you ain't following what that man told you to do. See, niggas want to do everything else other than what the man told you to do. That man told you to believe his son and keep his instructions. A brother asked this question yesterday. He said, which one is greater, faith or works? What do you say? It's not being funny. He has a serious question. He said, which one do y'all believe is greater, great faith or great works? Some brothers want to, this is a trick question.
You asked?
Yeah. All right, he was asking. Then the brother posted Genesis 1 with the creation of the heavens. And then the John 1 and say, where faith in that? I'm like, shoot, better read Hebrews 11. And then say, we see the things that were created out of things unseen. Well, you ain't see none of that. Man, do none of that. You trust according to his word that he did that. Well, you can't see faith in that. What's wrong with you? The fact that that question had to be asked on the passages. What's wrong with you? Well, you ain't see none of that. But then we have to look at what is faith. That is the reliability, soundness, and fidelity of the word of the individual speaking. So that means that I know that this individual is faithful in that in which he speaks. So and when he said that he spoke a word to create it, that's what I believe that is what occurred, because you cannot see the heavens. I don't care what you say. Seeing blue skies, you don't see the firmament, nigga. You ain't see none of that. You wasn't at his right hand when the worlds were fashioned. You're right, and I told him that you can work and not believe. Y'all in here already know that, especially those who were present when we went through them chronicles of them kings, because it said there were kings who did all the laws of Yahudah, but not with a perfect heart. Oh, they don't want to hear that. Oh, that's it. Oh, you kept the law, but your heart wasn't perfect. You going to hell. That's it. Y'all know. But get what I told him. Like I said, he wasn't being argumentative. I said, man, you know what the book say, man. The just live by their faith. What do you mean? Because they talk about, faith without works is dead. See, that's how I know you's a simpleton. Anytime you mention faith and you run behind with faith without works is dead, you's a dummy. You's a special type of dummy. Because you're supposed to know that your faith is going to produce the great works, you dummy. So ain't even no news of saying that. You know what I'm talking about? Then, of course, again, y'all already know James was writing. You niggas are not, but that's why he mentioned that. He said Abraham was willing to sacrifice his son. Abraham was willing to go over here and leave because of a promise. He promised this man's son, so he did it according to the promise. He just didn't do it and say, I believe, so I'm going to go over here and plant this vineyard and start this homestead and let's open up these businesses because I believe. He ain't told you to do that, you jackass. He didn't tell you that. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. How many niggas would say they steady scream faith without works is dead, and Yahudah promised your barren wife she gonna have a son. She had a son, then he asked you to sacrifice it. Now, how many of them niggas gonna do that? You know what I'm talking about? How many are gonna have faith like we read in Nehemiah, where you dead wrong for marrying these strange women, and you gonna be willing to put them strange women and them kids away? How many of them gonna do that? How many of them gonna know that you're gonna be killed, and instead of allowing your, because they were talking about that, oh, what about when Peter, he said to tell Peter, don't cut that man ear off, because I got to die today, boy. I got an appointed time, and I can't go past my bounds. Didn't we read that last night? I got to die today, boy. That was about, I got to be willing to suffer for the gospel's sake. How you gonna stop the will of Elohim to protect me? Boy, I was born for this. How many niggas gonna do that? Not now. So these niggas just be talking. You know what I'm talking about? And I know they just be talking. That's why I be telling you I look these dudes in their face and telling boy you trash with the text, nigga. Stop looking up dope, nigga. Stop serving over here, man. Nobody want that crap you selling. Nigga, that junk trash, nigga. Nigga, I got a headache off this junk, nigga. I'm tired of smoking this junk. Nigga, I thought I was supposed to be geeking and tweaking, nigga. I'm sitting here sleeping. This ain't no good cocaine.
You join my heart.
I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to be euphoric, because that's what cocaine do. It brings senses of euphoria. I ain't got no euphoria going on. I'm tired and sleepy. Now I'm going to be like what Pac say. Now I'm going to be around here looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. I ain't saying that junk to be funny. I mean that. What that? No, ain't nobody doing all that. That's different. You starting the business is not moving by faith. That is what is contained in Untitled Chapter 1. That if you are obedient to this man and you meditate in his word, then you'll have great success in whatever you put your hand to. Two totally different scenarios. That ain't I'm stepping out on faith. You ain't stepping out on nothing. Nigga, you doing the labor. Because truth be told, if we want to be honest, everything you doing stepping out on faith because you don't know what's going to happen. In life, period. You stepping out on faith, getting in the car. You could crank the car up, it could blow up, nigga. He could literally have an angel under there. Go ahead and spark that. Boom. I'll holler at you. Some of y'all done been in there and your car was literally in a state where it was not supposed to be driven. You didn't know it was in a dangerous state like that until you were supposed to be driven, until you arrived at your destination, and then you found that out. That means that man kept you alive, nigga. You stepped on faith when you got in the damn car. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, man. These niggas stupid. You ain't stepping out on faith starting no business, nigga. You just starting a business because you a man. That's what you supposed to do. Get you some money and take care of yourself. You know what I'm talking about? Man, I don't be with all of that junk, man. But then it come down to stepping out on faith with the word. Don't matter you because you don't step out on nothing because he ain't told you to do nothing. So what you stepped out on? It'd be different if you be like, my son, go to such and such. No nobody there. Just don't worry about it. Just go. There'll be somebody there waiting for you. Like what he told Peter. Go on, get up, man. It's a dude around there. He waiting on you. He'll tell you what time it is. You know what I'm talking about? That's different. Because faith would, if Peter ain't had no faith, he wouldn't have went. He'd stayed to the house. I ain't going around there. Man, a lot of people, man, that man tell them to do stuff, but they don't even do it. That way, so I don't fool with that nigga. I done had people tell me that they done heard something minister to their spirit to do something and they didn't do it. And then it happened. And I'm talking about small stuff. I'm talking about, I mean, they were like, boy, son was telling me, hey, this here is in your jacket in the closet. I ain't listen. And rolled 20 miles from their house, went to what they were looking for, and had to bring their stupid butt back to the house. Now, I'm mentioning that because let's say that was Yahudah. If you couldn't listen to something as simple as that, why would he reveal anything else to you? Do you know what I'm saying? Because you got to clearly know this had to be something of supernatural means, because you were told that something was in a location when you assumed you had it on you, and then you didn't, and you found out it was exactly where you were told it was at. You a special type of student. When I say stupid, that you can hear the truth. Sometimes it's just better, just go along with it. That's why a lot of people be like, follow your first mind, because sometimes that man's spirit be warning about stuff you don't listen. He might tell you, don't turn right, nigga. Get what you do, turn right. Now you done got an accident. Thank you, sir. Because you should have did what? Should have did what he told you. And that's what I'm saying. And that's just under the presumption that that is him. But one thing we can say, you'll know for certain if it's not his spirit, because his spirit ain't going to lead you to do nothing outside of his will. And you can see that when Peter didn't understand that vision with them unclean animals. It wasn't that the vision was wrong. He just didn't understand it. But he said, one thing I know he ain't telling me to do, and that's eat no pig back. I know he ain't telling me to do that. I ain't doing that now. He said,
Never.
We don't do that here. He ain't gonna lead you to go against it. That's how you'll know. That's it. But you guess what? Most people don't believe. Those people don't know a word, so they thinking that's just some junk. Oh, I'm talking to myself. All right. Maybe you are. Maybe you ain't. Come on here, Joe. Come on over here with me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Now, what you gonna do is you gonna get yourself together. You gonna stop over there with all that whining and moaning, or I'm gonna squeeze your face just like this here. See your cheeks? I ain't gonna let them go. Go get your nose clean. Go get somebody to clean them boogers out your nose. You're doing all that crying, that's why you got it. Ain't no say no playtime, boy. Come on back over here to Judges chapter 8. I'm sorry about that, but I had to let y'all know that joint really be pissing me off. Boy, these niggas be lying, boy. You know what I'm saying? They niggas be lying on this man. Niggas always screaming faith this, faith that. These niggas don't believe nothing. I done told you before, man. I praise Yahudah for the mind for it, boy. If that man told me he moonwalked on the moon, boy, then that's what happened. Niggas be like, how you know he did it? Because he said he did it. If he wouldn't have done it, why he'd have told me that then? You know what I'm saying? Like, you would have to realize that's who you dealing with. If that man say he did backflips on the moon, moonwalk, and swam through a river, then that's exactly what he did. Period, point blank. Because what we told you, he said, my father's house does what? And he said, if it wasn't so, I wouldn't even told you that. Why would I make you a promise that ain't real? That don't even make no sense, you do it, Eugene. That makes sense. It don't make sense, do it. What? It doesn't. Why it don't make sense, Michael? There you go. It's wrong. So Yahudah ain't gonna tell you something if he ain't gonna give it to you. That just used to trick me out when people be like, you can't keep this man law. This is before I was in the word. I said, why would this man give you something you can't keep and then punish you for it? That don't even make sense. That's sadistic. This before I knew anything about anything. Just sitting in the corner listening to niggas argue. I'm reading this text. Dude saying, you can't keep this law. I'm like, bro, I ain't read that in here nowhere. All I was reading what niggas said, they wasn't doing it. Not that he said you couldn't, because that's what dudes were telling me. You can't keep them laws. I said, say that in the yeah, God said you can't keep them. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna see that. I said, bro, that book, I ain't read that in there, man. You're gonna have to show me that. Just like 2005, nigga, I ain't in no world. I'm like, bro, I don't know, y'all nigga lying, bro. I ain't seen that. So this junk not registering to me. Because I'm hearing people saying one thing and I'm reading another.
I feel like that was a good thing for me. Like, when the nigga did start reading, I had to understand that you ain't have to do it. And then there's stuff that you do got to do. It made me feel like, damn, bro, we supposed to be doing way more than what they saying. Because they were saying, like you said, you can't do it. Versus understanding the thing that he came to fulfill.
Well, I'm full to close. I was talking to niggas. The jail niggas. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Jail niggas telling you, man, you can't do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, I'm not reading that in here, bro. I'm not reading that in here, bro. Y'all know what he said in Luke, man. Perfect, but you a son of God, but you ain't perfect. I said, now how that gonna make any sense, bro? But for me, the thing that stood out the longest is you're telling me that a man is going to give you some instructions that you can't keep and then fire you for not keeping them. That says a lot about him, does it not? I'm gonna hire you to do a job that you can't do and then fire you when I knew you couldn't do the job when I hired you, and you were under the impression that you was going to get a great reward for doing the job, but then you see you can't do the job, so then you're expecting some type of now you hate your employer because you knew he gave you a job you couldn't do, and now here he come to fire you when you got family to feed. So why did you hire me, nigga? You hired me to fail. That don't make no sense. Yet people believe this and tell it to others. But what do you read in 1 John? What do you say? His commandments are what? Ain't nothing difficult about them. Man, at the end of the day, man, ain't nothing difficult about none of the difficult part is not the don't steal, don't covet. That's not the difficult part. Loving your neighbor as yourself, that's not the difficult part. You know what the difficult part is? Loving Yahudah with all your mind, heart, and soul, and all your strength and all your might. That's what's hard for niggas. To be that honest with you. That Deuteronomy 6, that's the hard part. Because that's serving, not serving other God. Because that means you got to have respect for the recompense of the reward. That's the hard part. And y'all experience, what would you say the hard part is? The instructions or the faith? That you from your observable reality.
You don't want to totally give up everything. If you love Yahudah with all your mind and soul.
And that part, see, that's a different aspect of the faith. But the know what the harder part of the faith for them niggas is? Belief that there's actually a reward. That if I do all of that, that I'm going to get something for it.
Some niggas is going to feel they're worthy for that reward. Niggas believe in that reward. But some
I don't even think, I'm be honest with you.
I heard a nigga say that. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm going to tell you that nigga lying. Reason why I said nigga lying, because if he believed in the reward, he already knew he wasn't worthy of the reward. So the mercy of Elohim will reinforce the fact of having for the reward. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say that nigga lying. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't tell me you believe in the reward, then forsake the reward under the guise of I'm not worthy of it. See, that's what women do. Because what that is that's an individual who don't want to do the work necessary for the reward because I really don't believe you're going to give it to me. That's why women dip out. You know what I'm saying? Because most women are lazy lovers. She is only going to do just enough to get what she desires. I give you all this here. But you're going to have to put in the work to get it. Or you got to have respect to the reward. And most don't. Oh, yeah, that's cap. That's all cap. That's all. Amen. Man, that's all cap, my G. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say that off of human behavior. Because if you believe in a reward, because like I said, all of us know we ain't worthy. So there ain't none of us walking around here thinking, I'm saying, even the most prideful, evil individual, respect for the reward, that's where the full all-in immersion into the service coming at. You know what I'm saying? Not even just the giving up of the life. I got so much respect for the reward that I'm willing to do anything this man asked me to do. That's the same with your woman. If she really believes that the vision you laid out, that she gonna get this life, that you telling her you gonna give her, bro, she all in. They only don't be all in because they don't believe they gonna get it. Because that means they gonna have to work just as hard as you is. That means they taking on the vision themselves. That what you own, I'm on. You know what I'm saying? See, most of us, we ain't taught all to do all that there, right? Now, see, and I told you so they can speak from personal experience. Like you would rather, when you dealing with a woman, that you deal with her business-wise first. No romance, no nothing involved at all. Because if she'll go hard for you and there's no romance involved, then she knows she'll go hard for you, period. See, most of us ain't looking for that because we looking for someone to go hard for you emotionally, romantically, versus if she look at your business as her business, then yeah, that's who you want on your team. You know what I'm talking about? Because she's going to go hard, period. And that's what Yahudah want. He don't want anybody. He wants somebody who look at his good news, his mission, as if it's their mission. Like when you examine what Paul actually did, putting Mashiach to the side, because Mashiach is fulfilling his own mission at a directive of his father. It's his mission. He wrote the story. You know what I'm saying? His father gave him the game plan. He followed out. So you know he locked step with it. When you look at an individual like Paul, who was down with the mission, but lacked understanding, that when he was given understanding, he took the mission on as if it was his. You know what I'm saying? Amen, my brother Eric, man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, you all in. That means no matter what you experience, no matter what tribulations, no matter what difficulties arise, I'm going to do what I came here to do. Because I'm all in. What he told him in Acts, he said, I believe that it'll be done just as it was spoken unto me. Most of us don't look at what this man say is going to be done as he spoke it. So that's why they don't go. Niggas be lying. You know what I'm saying? And I tell niggas today, when you lie, only difference is I ain't going to be as harsh unless I detect bovine excrement. If I detect bovine excrement, I'm going to just go ahead and call you out for what you is. If I don't detect that, it's going to be a little salt seasoned with them words. You know what I'm saying? For you to understand, like, come on, man, you really don't believe he gonna pay you back. You know what I'm saying? See, when you don't believe somebody gonna pay you back, you ain't locked. I do a little bit here. You gonna get a bare minimum. You know what I'm saying?
Because you can see a nigga action when niggas say that, you see their actions, they line up. I'm gonna do bare minimum.
And I'm just saying that from a woman aspect, like, well, you would rather get with a woman and every time you with her, it's about business. You talking about business. She party because if she ain't going hard for your business, she ain't your woman, and you were contemplating that, then of course you ain't gonna fool with her. No, because you're gonna fire her from your business. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you gotta go. You know what I'm talking about? But if she down with it, like, oh, I'm trying to see this nigga eat. This nigga gotta make some money. Then that's who you want because she's locked in. You gotta have somebody that's buying in. Like what Mike Tomlin said, he said, we don't want no hostages. You know what I'm saying? You don't want nobody who no hostage. Going to be free. Temptation told you what to do, baby. I ain't got to set you free. You can set your damn self free. That's how Yahudah feel. I ain't got to set you free. They go to door. Ain't nobody stopping you. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people don't realize. They go to door. Ain't nobody stopping you. If this ain't where you want to be, this ain't what you like, who's making you stay? Nigga, go. You know what I'm talking about? Because like we said earlier, nigga, this is my house. I ain't going nowhere. That's what you were saying. This land mine, right? I ain't going nowhere. You going. I ain't going nowhere. All that junk nigga be moving out, sleeping on couches, laying on floors, sleeping at hotel. Hell no. This is my house. You getting out. You the one with the problem. You the one don't want to do the work. So why would I leave when you the problem? Nigga crazy is all nigga crazy in they scalp. You know what I'm talking about? Judges 8 and 11. No, we ain't in 11. We in 14. Man, nigga, let's understand, man. I'm telling you. Like, shoot. Just as a man, we had to make sure you on point as a man that you could do that. If your paper ain't right as a man, you can't even do that. Michael, if a nigga can't talk to you like that and his money wasn't right, he wasn't paying this, that, and the third, would you even pay attention to any of that? You're going to laugh at him. And you ain't even going to try to laugh at him. Your nature not going to allow you to respect what he talking about. This nigga talking about this, John. Nigga, you ain't even got no money, nigga. You can't keep a job. You know what I'm saying? I'm just mentioning that. I ain't talking about if all this stuff these niggas be arguing about being average earners and all that type of. I ain't talking about all that. I'm talking about niggas ain't even got their mind and ain't nothing right. So again, what we be looking at, right? When he said to subdue, to dominate, ain't that right? And if the man supposed to be able to dominate. See, I don't care nothing about with this new age stuff. As a man, you supposed to dominate. This is mine. Now, some men choose to exercise their dominance and some men do not, because that's an individual thing on how some men exert their dominance and some don't. Some men rule with an iron fist. Some men don't. But nevertheless, you have to be able to subdue what you got going on. She gonna respect you more. And then you can be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, nigga. Well, shoot. Because I'm going to bed. You know what I'm saying? If you think I'm finna argue with you about this, that, and the third, well, I'm finna go to bed. Because what I ain't gonna do is do what the Lord told me to do, and that's dwell in a house with a contentious woman. You know what I'm talking about? And I ain't moving out. You moving out. because you the one with the problem. See, that's the thing. That's why a lot of people walk away from Yahudah. They in the house with it. They don't want to live with him. And you know what? Yahudah telling you, well, shoot, nigga. Difference is, now that's the difference. Yahudah going to tell you, that's okay, that's fine. I'll get out. And how does he get out? He remove his word from out their heart to where they don't come to mind. What he said? Take heed to the things that you heard, lest they what? So he just go ahead and remove himself from the premises. You know what I'm saying? Now, Yahudah do that. He ain't going to tell you to get out. He going to get out. Because that word ain't going to resonate in your mind. It ain't going to stay there no more. Yeah, he going to move out. You don't want Yahudah to move out. You know what I'm saying? Because when he move out, your lights go out. And you can't get down with the electric company again to get your light bill paid. Don't even talk about the water bill. And you ain't got no food for groceries. Can't get no bread. Ain't no room at the end. Storehouses closed. That ain't where you want to be, my G. I ain't even got to the part where we're supposed to dealing with. We supposed to been talking about some sons of God, but little resurrection of the dead ain't never heard nobody. I just mean a little bit of genealogy work. That's why I had told y'all last night or whatever day that was, Wednesday, to get ahead on that because we're gonna be doing some genealogy work. And if you've read it already, you see that can be very tedious. A lot of names, a lot of people. So I wanted y'all to get out ahead of it because we might bounce around and jump around versus reading straight down. You know what I'm saying? Really focusing on certain main people and not just reading off everybody. I just wanted y'all to be familiar with that ahead of time and to make it easier. Which, of course, now you got a whole Yahudah willing 4 or 5 days. And then we swing back around there and do it again. Really, what is it's First Chronicles chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't think we need 5. I think 5 go in the Joseph or Simeon. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Genesis 5. Genesis 5 not that long. And that's for us the basis of us going back and looking at Luke 3 and Matthew 1 all over again. And again, the whole basis of everything we talking about is what? Cain and Abel. Seth and Abel. Son of Elohim, son of Adam. Who in there doing all that crying? Little Muffin. You in there making too much noise, Little Muffin. Make a lot of noise, Little Muffin. Judges 8 and 14. And called a young man of the men of Succoth and inquired of him. He described unto him the princes of Succoth and the elders thereof, even 70 men. And he came unto the men of Succoth and said, Behold, Zebah and Zalmunna, whom did you upbraid me, saying, Are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna now in your hand, that we should give bread unto your men that are weary? He took the elders of the city and the thorns of wilderness and briars, and with them he taught the men of Succoth. What y'all think that means? He said he took thorns and briars and taught the men of Succoth. Sound like a little discipline. Let's look and see. First things first with thorns, that's a thorn bush, pricking, coat say. I'm just gonna say the word for you. Y'all should already know what we finna head, but if you don't, I'm finna show you. Briars, of course, it's a briar, and again, that's another thorn. Barkan. Do y'all have any passages for these thorns and briars, or do I need to go ahead and get on over there? That's what it wrote in Hebrews. But see, come over here to 2 Corinthians chapter 12. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 6. Boop. Boop. Hold on. That's where we headed right now. Not Satan itself, but you have to sit back and look at, because we went over this before also. It's been a little minute. He just mentioned that's discipline. Psalm 17 tell you the wicked is his sword. Cain is an example of thorns and briars, of which he used to teach Abel, which in turn was able to teach Adam, which in turn was able to teach Seth, which in turn is able to teach Enos, which in turn is able to teach those who call upon the name of Yahudah. Because men learn instruction from suffering at the hands of the wicked. And Mashiach is your example. (12 and 6). 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 12 and 6. Sit up straight, boy. Now, do you want to get out or do you want to get DDT'd? For though I would desire to esteem that I shall not be a fool, I will say the truth, but now I will forbear, lest any man should think of me above which he see me to be, or that he hear of me. Unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations. That's another purpose of thorns and briars. You know what I'm saying? It's to humble you. Sit here and pause for a second. Who were the thorns and briars to Yahushua? The Pharisees, chief priests and the scribes. They were thorns and briars, and that's who the Father used to teach him. That's who the Father used to teach. See, we'll revisit that. That's a whole thing by itself. That's a whole thing by itself. He said, lest though I be exalted above measure through the revelations, they were given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of the adversary to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, my mercy is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather esteem in my infirmities, that the power of Mashiach might rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Mashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. We have a multitude of people in this text who people were thorns and briars in their sides to buffet them. Job's friends were thorns and briars in his side to buffet him. You understand? I'm trying to think of another. Shoot. Saul was to David. Absolutely. Absalom was to David. Adonijah was to Solomon. Who else we got, man? Joseph's brothers was a thorn in his side to buffet him. His master's wife was a thorn in his side to buffet him. These are people to keep. And remember, each person we mentioned is somebody who Yahudah has blessed with greatness. Ahab was a buffet for Elijah. Ahab and Jezebel. Laban and Jacob. It's all, you look, what? Say who? No, Darius wouldn't have been the thorn, but those who were under Darius, they were the thorn. Because Darius was with it. He had to follow his own decree. He couldn't go against his own word. The Philistines, the Israel, and that's why I mentioned that. I appreciate that. It was the book of Judges, because the book of Judges centers around 95 to 97% are dealings with the Philistines, and they were the thorn and briars in our side continually in the book of Judges. Hey, little Michael. Hey, little Michael. Y'all understand what that means, though? And that's what he used to teach them. That Yahudah does not teach like any other. Yahudah uses your enemies to teach you what he wants you to learn. And he uses them to keep you humble. Yeah, that's in Judges 2. That's in Judges 2. What you talking about? He said, I sent him to prove you whether you be obedient or not. Come over here to Judges 2. I'll show you what he's talking about.
Would you say the son of perdition to the saints and the time?
Could you say he a thorn?
I'm asking.
You could and you couldn't at the same token, because you already supposed to know that's going down. That by the time the beasts come in, you should already be well-rounded and ready to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But also theoretically, you could say, yeah, he'd be a thorn. You know what I'm saying? But I know you talking about. I know what I'm talking about. But I mean it. But at the same token, see why I say, because he used them to teach you, and you supposed to already learn when the time it come around to him, because you supposed to repeat the play.
The thorn is your affliction, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I was going through policies, they're not buying.
No, he mentioned another thing, which is different. And that's a whole nother conversation, because we just talking about people. Your afflictions can also be thrown, because that's why I didn't go into, because we're going to probably venture into that later, because he said necessities, distresses, persecutions. Any type of affliction can be considered to be a thorn and a briar. Any type of affliction. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to think. The famine that was going on during the time of Elisha, that was a thorn in the briar in their side, because those thorns and briars have to cause you to trust in Yahuwah. Those afflictions and that humility, that's what basically at the end of the day, that's the lesson that is being taught. That's what Paul just rehashed in that. You got to trust in Yahuwah. That's what most people can't do. That's why, what did the Mashiach say? When persecutions and tribulations arise because of the word, they're offended. And they walk away. Because they ain't have no what, Eugene? They ain't have no root. Judges 2-1. Root? Get up and swing then. And I'm going to knock you clean the next week. Come on over here. You're going to limp back, Cletus. Judges 2-1. And the Malachim of Yahuwah came unto Gilgal to Bochum and said, I made you go up out of Mizraim, and I brought you to the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. And you shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. You shall throw down their altars, but you have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their God shall be a snare to you. And it came to pass when the Malachim of Yahuwah spake these words unto the sons of Yasharal, that the people lifted up their voice and wept, and they called the name of that place Bochim, and they sacrificed there unto Yahuwah. So like I said, he'll leave them there. Test you, keep you humble. Come on back to Judges, man. You know what? We're going to stop right there, because the whole second matter or what in there, I can't do that. We had 2 hours and 20 minutes. Well, that junk looked like when the hurricanes be sliding through on the outskirts in the front window. Yeah, wind and rain, son. Possibly. But hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. I appreciate y'all time this afternoon. Bless y'all also Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Yahuwah willing. We'll keep on rolling in Judges 8 on Wednesday. We got a lot to do, a lot to go through. Yahuwah willing, we'll get through all of it in a timely fashion. Again, man, appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. Yahuwah willing, stay firm. And Yahuwah willing till the next time. Stay firm. Don't burn.
Stay firm.